It's Trudy here, just recording a very quick video tutorial about how to space out either your letters or your sentences. Now, I probably have ran this or explained a bit about this in one of my other modules, but I just thought I'd break it just down into this very short one, and I guess just to show you aesthetically the difference between having very close letters and letters spread out. Now, as many of you know, I've spent a lot of time studying and teaching in the areas of behavioural psychology, so I always like to just explain a little bit more about how the mind works. Now, the mind does like minimal clutter, whether that's in your home, your office, your outdoor space, or whether it's visually something that they're reading or looking at. Now, of course, there are variations. There are some people that like a lot more words than others. There are a lot of people that like more visual stimulation than words. So, of course, there's going to be lots of different variances. But when you are creating something, just keep in mind that people do at a subconscious level, they just actually do quite like a little bit of white space. Now, I know a lot of people don't like having a lot of white space. They like to fill everything up with colour. But I just want you to show you a few differences visually. So you say, for instance, you've got this quote here. This is one of my quotes. It's a bit of a longer quote. And, you know, you're finding that, you know, words are very sort of almost a bit squashed up for this particular space. So say this was a Facebook post. The size up here at the moment is 940 by 788. So yep, it's a Facebook post size. And you can see there's a lot of white space behind, but I want to let's just pop a photo behind just to show you. Let's pop a photo behind. Okay, so I know that I've already shown you in a few different modules how the difference between having words not necessarily overlaying images. You know, again, in this case, it's a bit difficult to see because of the different colours and things like that. So, you know, there are different things that you can do, but ultimately you don't want to have something that's really busy. Now, this is a beautiful image, and if I had less words, it might look okay. You know, but again, it's nice to have just this white space apparent throughout it. Okay, so let's just try to show you a few different images. The same thing. We might put her more to the, and then we might make the letters white. See what it looks like. So again, you know, the eye doesn't necessarily always like to have something. It's almost got to concentrate on too many different elements. Now, I've shown you in the past ways that you can do that is to actually put some block colour and just fade it. So again, I'll just show you quickly how we've done this in the past so that you know. And so but you'll be able to watch a different tutorial. So they're the sorts of things that you can do. But let me now go back and just show you some general spacing. Just take this back to how it was before. And I'll just make this black again. Okay, so at the moment we've got this particular font. You can have any font you like. And what you want to do is you want to consider ways that you can actually make this a lot easier to be read rather than it being difficult to read, people having to squint on their phones. Remembering a majority of people are looking at your posts or content on a phone, a mobile device. Of course, there are a lot of people using desktops and iPads and also other stuff, but a lot of people are using it on phones. So always when you have a post, you want to make sure the wording is easy to read. And the other way that you can do is add spacing. So you can notice up here, thanks to Canva, they sometimes change the little icons, but up here there's a little icon that's got some little lines and a little arrow, and it says spacing. And what you do is you actually can space out the individual letters. So you can notice there the individual letters. What I might do is I might just delete that stuff just so you can notice the difference. So these letters here, just notice that they're changing. So that's where it's normal, and that's where the actual letter, individual letter, is increasing the space between each letter. Okay, so that's one way that you can do it. The other thing that you can do is you can actually space out the different sentences. So I'll just add in the other sentence back in. So you can see now how the sentences have been spaced out. So all of these sentences are spacing out. If you want them to all space out, except for my name, then you just space it out like this. So you can space it out in that way. Now, the other thing is just try and keep in mind that if you can, don't have just one word on a separate line. Just try and even it out a little bit. And in this case, because the name is far too close to the words, I'm going to take that off and I'm just going to add it as a separate thing just here. Okay, so it's totally separate from the other ones. Okay, so that's how you could do that. You can space the letters out and you can space the sentences. I prefer it to look something like this. If you really want to, you can actually add a bit of a space, and the way that you can reduce this space between two is you can either copy and paste it and you create a separate I guess, element altogether. So these are now two separate things. They're not joined together. In order to do that, you'd look at the font. This font is called Collective, and I'd actually now change this font to be the same, Collective, and this size is 33.4, so I make sure that this size is 33.4. This is the long way that I'm doing it. I normally do it in a different way, but I just want to show you. So that's how you could separate the two sentences. The other way that you can separate the two sentences is another really quick way I want to show you. Is I'm just going to add the sentence back into this here. The other way you can actually do it is you can press the enter, and you can notice there's a big space. So you've probably done this in Word before, but you can also do it in Canva. So this space is currently 33.4. So if you went up and changed it to say 12 or 10, see how there's still a space in between, but it's a less of a space than before, so it spreads it out a little bit. So again, that's one way you can do it. Remember, if you've watched the other modules, you'll know that there is a position here section in the far right. So it says position, and I always make sure I center my words, and I then go and make sure I center my name. So everything's now centered. So that's a really quick and easy way that you can do create some space between your letters and space between your words to spread something out on to your post. So if we do exactly the same here, again, remembering that font is really important. So this font is very bold, even though it's a non-bolded font. It's actually just permanently bold. So you can go through your different fonts that you have. Choose a font that maybe is a lot easier to read, and you can again do exactly the same. You can go and change your particular spacing. So let's just go up here. Remember, you can change the letter, okay, and you can change the sentence or the line, the height between the lines. Okay, so you can do all of that. And if you want to, you can, depending on what picture, or if you want to do something behind it, you can narrow it down and you can drag things in to fit your space. Okay, so say for instance I want to add a photo. I might just go to the top, I might just go to flowers. Might find one of these that I want to put it in, and I might pop it across there. I don't really want Trudy, my name, to be so close to that, so I might try and make sure that the letters are not going over the top of one of these natural lines, which is obviously a wall. And just add some text. So again, I'll just type my name in. Again, I'm typing my name in because this is one of my quotes. If it's someone else's quotes or if it's yours, obviously you put your own in there. Besot. Okay, so, so basically you can see how I've just tried to create something that is a little bit easier to read. I would again go through and see how I could make sure that this is readable by everyone. So let's move my name. Okay, so somewhere like that. So in this case, I'm not centering to the whole page because obviously the flowers there. I'm visually looking at how I can center these two items. Again, if you want to add something, just a little bit of stroke of color. Oops, it's just a stroke of color to match that particular image. I might go here, put that in my hair. So again, just playing around with complementary colors and how to. So that's really a very short tutorial on how to space your letters and how to space your actual sentence line. So go up to the spacing at the top and you can then have a little bit of a play around there. I really hope that that has helped you in being able to make your posts or content, or ebooks, whatever you're creating, to be aesthetically pleasing to your audience, because you don't want people to be having to to get tired by reading what you are creating. You want them to be drawn to it and want to finish reading what they started. So happy creating, good luck, and I look forward to seeing you in another module soon. Bye for now.